So hello again, we're here for another Art Stream Speedup. This time we're drawing Medusa. It's one of my favorite characters. I've seen her since, the Dean Studio Fate Stay Night. So she's been my favorite for a very long time. Anyway, yeah, I'm working on the pose. I already had the pose in mind. I wanted to keep things simple because I realize it takes me much longer when I'm using more dynamic poses. So I thought this week I'd start something simple, just don't strain myself all the time, every time. Just sometimes just learn to relax and just enjoy drawing in general. So we're working on the hands. I actually wanted to make something different. It's not her default clothes. I wanted to make a Chinese dress, or qipao, or zhongsham, however you want to call it. It's the one where you see leg, basically. So I also wanted to, mix it up a bit. Now, as you can see, this is me struggling with the hand, because even if the pose is simple, the hands can get complicated at certain angles. I think I held up like a remote control or something for reference on this. So yeah, it's a bit challenging, but you still go through it. Try to attempt to do it, get the shape right in your head. And yeah, this other hand, I'm pretty sure a mirror was involved, or the shiny glass part of my CPU, but yeah, still did it. So here we go with the fingers and just general cleanup. There's a lot less cleanup here because there's a lot less complexity, not much crazy angles with the hands and feet. So generally very easy. Well, as easy as can be for me. So here I am plotting out the clothes already, because I usually draw things like naked first and then put the clothes on top, just so I know the anatomy underneath is correct. Next up is the hair. She actually has pretty tricky hair. I'm not sure if you noticed, but her bangs, the thing on her forehead, the way it lifts up, it doesn't actually shape properly. I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. I have to study it a lot. And yeah, here I'm basing the dress to be somewhat close to her original costume in the first ascension stage if you play FGO. But yeah, basic color scheme and style. So here I am working on it, removing the naked underneath, and I took a quick break to check on something. Anyway, I'm just reviewing everything and then working on the heels. It's kind of funny. Medusa, she's quite tall and she's really easily upset about being tall, but why does she wear heels? I'm not sure. Have you noticed that in her official art? She wears heels. You'd think someone who disliked being tall wouldn't wear heels, but here we are. Well, I guess, fashion before height complexity. But anyway, we're fixing up the leg, getting the shape right. Working on that knee, making sure it's, properly thick. And then, working on the thigh high, I guess? I don't know. I guess they're thigh highs, yeah. But basically, we're working on the clothes, cleaning everything up, and making sure everything is proper. With the little details, thickness, and the design. So just very rough line over. And clothing folds and body seams, the seams. And just fixing up the shape. Now, the hair, she has a lot of hair, honestly. A lot of hair. So I think I took a lot of time with this. Well, not as much time, but there was a lot of shape to work with. So getting it all there, getting it all down. And just review everything, work it out. So big many hair. Big many hair, trails on her back. And figuring out what the bottom is like, because that's two opposite sides touching each other, I guess. I don't know what to call it. And just a little bit of those stray streaks of long hair. Really gives you the idea of length and volume. And sometimes the little nubbits. And I draw the ear. Even though if the ear is covered mostly by her hair, I still draw it just so I know. And I could move it later on. So we just minor cleanup. And then the fan. The fan, I think the fan was the most thing I was proud of because I didn't want like an ordinary fan. I wanted it based on her dagger nail thing. Turns out that dagger nail thing weapon doesn't have a name. It's just called Nameless Dagger. Who knew, right? But yeah, I wanted to imitate both the color scheme and the overall design. So I kind of imitated the handle a bit, similarly. Like it's wrapped in a wire. And yeah, the weird hilt thing, the shape. Just a sort of like a toy. Not unlike a cell phone accessory that you know, strap to your phone. Except this one is very spiky and potentially dangerous when you swing it at someone's face. But that's fine too. And yeah, this one is just getting the donut shape right. Because it's not a flat ring, it's more like a torus. And then, yeah, a chain. Then we finish up the design of her clothing. I remember going back at this and I figured, you know, let's make it like that. And then make a strange eye shape. Sort of like if you've seen her Gorgon form, the Pandemonium Cetus, I figured make the hole like that. And here I am working on the face now. The distinct Nasu nose, as I'd like to call it, the flattish. And yeah, just adjusting the anatomy of the face and the eyes. I was also wondering what expression to use, but I settled on a simple, cool vibe because, yeah, Medusa is usually very chill. She's not really an excitable person. She doesn't do a lot of battle cries, but yeah, she's very calculating and cold, but at the same time very caring. Anyway, yeah, this is us working down the bases, getting the general color scheme right, and yeah, it's very, very similar to her usual clothes. I'm sure you've seen it. And yeah, just cleaning out the little nublets. And here we're matching the color scheme of the nail thing that has no name. Why didn't they name it? I guess it's not a real thing, that's why. And yeah, just playing around with the colors, making sure the bases have an interesting color. And the face. Now, I'm not sure if you noticed, but her pupils are actually a squarish shape. It's not a circular shape. I'm not sure if people notice that detail. And yeah, lipstick. Yeah. Been kind of experimenting with the airbrush more recently. And I think at this part, I think I noticed the arm was a little too long, so slight adjustment to make it less long. And just, yeah, fix it up, adjust the colors and everything, so it matches the line art I just made. And yeah, overall, looks great. And yeah, this is when I add the green layer and just clean up any missing nubs. And this is the grayscaling part, where I put the shading. The grayscaling, yeah, as usual, slightly opacity, but it's black, so I could still see the shape underneath. So yeah, this is usually pretty fun, because I already know what the shape is, so it's all about adding the dimension of shading to the piece. See? Not much to bring up, but yeah. Basically, it's a grayscaling shade. Maybe sometimes I would add another color of gray, so it'll be like a blendy instead of a cell shaded type of shading style. But for this time, you know, it's cell shaded. I wanted to, you know, finish this piece, hopefully in one session. So we're here cleaning up the face, and I should be about done. I'm gonna slow down the video a bit so I can explain this part. To make the shade, I make a copy of the base and make it darker. After that, I use the grayscale I've done and use it as a mask to reveal the shade underneath. And then, yeah, I adjust the colors to match, because it's not just flat black over, not flat brightness down, but you know, you add a bit of coolness or warmness to the light. So if it's skin, I add a reddish tint. Here I'm adding the blush and the heat parts, you know, and adjusting the heat of the shading. And yeah, just adding the shine, the shininess of the hair, body, clothes. you know, those little sprucey shiny bits that kind of bring out more shape. And, gives you the idea, oh, she's wearing a shiny dress, which is also pretty nice. Yeah, a little bit more of color adjustment, and then a simple background. And there's the signature. And yeah, I guess that's it. This is the final piece. And we're gonna do the fancy panning. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. This was about a few hours, 5 hours, versus the 10. So I think it turned out really well. Anyway, I guess that's it. See you next time.